for the death of about 10 persons following strikes in Sokoto. From the international scene, South Korea votes to impeach its acting president Ahn Duck-soo 2 weeks after Parliament voted to impeach its president Yoon Suk-yeol. Details of this and more coming your way soon. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has expressed deep condolences to the government and people of India over the death of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. Singh, who served as India's Prime Minister from 2004 to 2014, passed away on Thursday at the age of 92. In a statement released by the State House on Friday and signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu described Singh as a visionary leader whose contribution to Nigeria-India relations remains significant. He recorded Singh's historic 2007 visit to Nigeria, during which the late Prime Minister became one of the few global leaders to address a joint session of the Nigerian National Assembly. He expressed gratitude to the Indian people for celebrating Singh's legacy and prayed that his life of service continues to inspire future generations. President Bola Tinubu observed the Jumat prayer at the Lekki Central Mosque in Lagos on Friday afternoon alongside Muslim faithful. It was the president's first public outing since attending prayers at the Al-Awsa Central Mosque last Friday. In his sermon, the chief imam of Lekki Central Mosque, Ridwan Jamil, urged people to be grateful to Allah during times of fortune and patience during adversity. Wavering hope and faith are essential to believers even in challenging circumstances. Acknowledging the president's presence, Imam Jamil offered prayers for his success in leading Nigeria towards peace, security and prosperity. The Imam assured the president of the steadfast prayers and support of Muslim Ummah as he governs the nation. The president, spending the festive season in Lagos State, arrived in Nigeria's commercial capital on December 18 after presenting the 2025 budget to the joint session of the National Assembly. In honor of victims of the unfortunate stampede in Oyo, Anambra State and the FCT, which claimed lives, President Tinubu cancelled his public engagement, including a boat regatta in Lagos last Saturday. The federal government has been advised to enforce the ban on the exportation of raw materials that should be processed locally out of Nigeria. Recall that there is a bill currently before the Senate on the subject matter. Speaking on the issue, Senator Onyekachi Uwebonyi from Ebonyi North notes that the lawmakers stressed that the bill, when passed, will ensure rapid economic development with local industries performing to the best of their abilities.
Is to stop importation of raw materials that are already available in Nigeria. Two is to make it mandatory that no raw material should be exported outside Nigeria without processing it up to 30%. So what do we want to achieve by this? I will let you know that for us to grow economically, for Nigeria to prosper economically, which is the yearning of all Nigerians, we must.
He disclosed that the essence of public hearing is to seek input from stakeholders, noting that the National Assembly is committed to coming up with legislations that will revive ailing industries in Nigeria. The lawmaker therefore called for the support. Niger Republic has accused Nigeria and other ECOWAS members of colluding with France to destabilize the country. However, ECOWAS in a statement described the allegations as unfounded. The Commissioner of the Economic and West African States, ECOWAS, expresses deep concern over allegations being made against Nigeria and other ECOWAS member states. The Commission stands firmly by Nigeria and ECOWAS member states against allegations that are sponsoring terrorism. For years, Nigeria has supported peace and security of several countries, not only in the West African sub-region, but also on the African continent. the recent successes recorded by the multinational Joint Task Force MNJTF, which Nigeria leads, demonstrates the country's commitment to peace and security across the region. ECOWAS therefore refutes any suggestion that their management in part. ECOWAS then called on all defense headquarters has blamed what's described as a secondary explosion for the death of about 10 persons following strikes in Sokoto. A few days back, the Sokoto government said 10 villagers were killed and others injured after military strikes in the Silame local government area of the state. But the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the deaths and injuries were due to explosions and not a direct result of the strikes. According to Buba, the military confirmed that the strikes hit the target, the terrorist group. However, Buba did not confirm the number of casualties in the strikes, which has continued to generate comments from Nigerians. Those killed in the airstrikes have since been buried, according to Islamic conditions. Nigeria Police Force arrests 23 individuals, including suspected armed robbers, cultists and the kidnapper, while recovering various dangerous weapons. Details of that and more coming after the break. To stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with folks on our X handle News. You can follow and interact with folks on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our RG QR code. The security situation in Nigeria in the past year could be described as a challenging one, taking into consideration insurgency in the north as well as activities of secessionist group in the east. To this end, Nigerians are hoping for a better 2025, where security operatives will be able to reduce the threat posed by insecurity. In this report, our correspondent Dele Fason takes a look at security challenges in the past year around the impact of security agencies and government. The report.
Statistics from the Internal Displacement Monitoring Center in Nigeria shows that over 3.3 million persons were displaced either through conflict or violence in several parts of the north, with Borno State accounting for almost half of the number. Some experts admit an improved security situation that needs sustainable planning.
Looking at this security architecture, you see there has been some improvement, but with every dynamic society changes. As the government is improving on its architecture, the criminals are also adjusting. For instance, this year we now got a new terrorist group operating in the northwest of the country. That has been a challenge.
In 2023 have been jumped double, and we are not having any end in sight.
On the need to get the security architecture right in the coming year,
the development of technology is actually giving the security agency an upper hand. The most important aspect here is the deployment of drone technology so that human contact and intelligence gathering is a little bit better. Then, of course, the utilization of intelligence is actually the best resource the security agencies can.
The cry for community policing, as some states have been adapting to it. I urge all state governments to adapt to it, even including the local government, Even now,
armed men with dangerous weapons terrorizing residents and fund seekers. It added that later that same day at about 8 p.m., police operatives attached to the Seminaka division of the Kaduna State Command apprehended Sulim Mohammed, a 25-year-old male linked to multiple kidnappings in the area. A fabricated AK-47 rifle was recovered from the suspect. The IGP urged citizens to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities promptly, just as he assured them of the force's commitment to maintaining a safe environment throughout the festive period. Oyo State Police Command has announced the arrest of no fewer than 153 armed robbery suspects between June 16, 2024 to date. The State Commissioner of Police Ayodele Shonubi will disclose this during a parade of the suspect at the police headquarters in Eleyele, Ibadan, revealed that 1,474 exhibits and various calibers of ammunition were recovered from the suspects. The CP said the suspects paraded at the police headquarters in Eleyele, Ibadan were allegedly involved in crimes such as robbery, kidnapping, courtesy, and car snatching, among others. Some of the suspects paraded for courtesy claimed at least 3 individuals were killed in retaliatory court attack. Among the suspects were 5 members of a suspected criminal gang accused of hijacking and diverting a truck containing goods worth 20 million naira in the Alakia area of Ibadan, the state capital. According to the State Commissioner of Police, the hijacked truck was loaded with 7,801 cartons of onion tomato paste. The CP also revealed that he has directed all area commanders, division and police resources across the state to enhance security during and after the festive season.
Command has continued to make laudable strides at upholding statutory responsibilities as enshrined under the Constitution and other relevant professional instruments without prejudice to background, orientation, philosophy, or association. In the same vein,
and because we are here, we are fighting together. Now because of that, we are here.
okay, so how many people have you killed so far?
Since when I joined here, we are feeling like 3 people before the carriers come here.
I'm working for Amatekun.
Why are you here?
I sell blade for 1 man for a year.
You did what?
Blade. I sell blade for him.
Edo State Police Authority has confirmed attack on some communities in Kwande local government area where more than 10 people were reportedly killed and several of them injured. Sources revealed that the people were celebrating Christmas with their loved ones. The State Command Public Relations Officer SB Kathleen Anene confirmed the incident to newsmen on Friday in a statement sent to journalists that 2 bodies have been recovered while investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, Governor Hyacinth Falia of Benue State has condemned the attack in a statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary Tessa Kula. The governor expressed worry over the sad development and innocent citizens charged security agencies to increase their surveillance to bring the perpetrators to book. One of the priests of the Catholic Diocese of Niue in Anambra State, Reverend Father Tobias Nkoko, has been shot dead by yet to be identified gunmen. The expressway at about 7 p.m. The information of his death was contained in a letter dated 27 December 2024 by the Diocesan Secretariat in Inewi and signed by the Chancellor Inewi Diocese, Reverend Father Raphael Iziogo. The letter, which had the deceased photograph, was titled Obituary and captioned Reverend Father Tobias, June 2015 and died December 26, 2024. The letter also solicited prayers and only masses for his eternal joy from the Catholic faithful. Efforts to speak to the Diocesan Secretariat through the Chancellor proved abortive, as several calls to the telephone line indicated it was switched off at the time of filing this report. But the Reverend Father of the Catholic Church, who spoke a condition of anonymity, confirmed the development. Also, The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has sent a strong warning to non-professionals engaging in the act of public relations. The disease from such acts are getting listed to become thoroughbreds professionals. This call was made known by the State Chairperson Oluwaseun Boye at an event to wrap up activities for the year 2024 of NIPR held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Speaking on activities at SHIP 2024, she said the state hosted the maiden NIPR week as well as other lofty programs. She said in the new year, NIPR would embark on training and capacity building workshop for members towards ensuring they become better professionals. On that part, the Commissioner for Women Affairs in Ogun State lauded the lofty heights of women leadership, thereby charging women to take up leadership roles.
Forward to more eventful activities that will affect and impact positively on different stakeholders. So for next year, we plan to have more trainings, capacity building for members, for non-members. We also continue to drive in more members because we still have members of staff from different organizations practicing public relations and not members of the chapter. So we're going to be descending on them because by act of the NIPR now, you cannot practice public relations.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has distributed relief materials to the government area of Kaduna State. Suleiman Mohammed, Northwest Zonal Coordinator of the agency, disclosed this during the distribution exercise in Kaduna. According to him, although the palliatives could not solve all the problems of the victims, they would alleviate their suffering. He listed the relief materials distributed to the beneficiaries from different communities as food, non-food items and clothing for women and children. Dr. Amos Magaji, member representing Zango Katav and Jaba Federal Constituency, appreciated the Director General Zubaida Umar for a relentless effort to provide prompt support whenever the need arises. Here's the last of the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues to stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now moving on to other stories. A coalition of civil society for educational development has expressed displeasure over the protest by professors of the University of Abuja over the appointment of a substantive vice-chancellor in the institution. They described the action as absurdity and a direct attack on due process, betrayal of their experience and direct assault on the global agenda for more women and youth in leadership. Convener of the Civil Society Coalition for Educational Development, Wisdom, expressed the displeasure at a peaceful protest held at the University Gate in Abuja on Friday. Chideduleme demanded that President Bola Tinubu, through the Honorable Minister of Education, should...
Among all the applicants for the job of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja, is the most qualified and the closest person to the job and should be immediately announced as substantive Vice Chancellor, having served as Deputy Vice Chancellor of the institution and currently acting Vice Chancellor of the same school. 2, we demand that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, through the Honorable Minister of Education, wade into the ensuing crisis and give needed protection for the acting Vice Chancellor, who is obviously a victim of ethnic gang-up.
The convener mentioned the Nigerian police to invite all troublemakers as his spouse. The independent, now permanent voters card that remained uncollected for a decade. It was led by newsman This recommendation was among 208 proposals arising from the Commission's review of the 2023 general elections. The move stemmed from the persistent issue of unclaimed PVCs, with over 6 million cards still uncollected as of the 2023 post-election review recommended that INEC address the backlog of uncollected PVCs by implementing a policy to withdraw PVCs that remain uncollected for extended periods, starting with cards issued in 2015. The rationale is that these cards are unlikely to be claimed and their retention clogs the voter management system. Also, the Commission proposed the introduction of diaspora voting. The Acting Director General, Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, Chris Njalmomo, has expressed concern over the increasing rate of flight cancellation, saying not less than 190 Airlines NCA engagement event on Friday over the spate of flight disruptions in the country. Njalmomo disclosed that out of 5,291 flights operated in September 2024, 2,434 were delayed, while 79 were cancelled. He added that out of 591 were delayed, while 111 flights were cancelled. He said delays and cancellation are sometimes inevitable, but poor management of this disruption is not. It's the responsibility of airlines to ensure that every disruption, whether due to operational, technical or weather-related challenges, is handled with the utmost professionalism and regard for passengers' rights, particularly as we're in the Amateur season with poor weather conditions that will affect flight operations. The Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, has signed the 2025 fiscal year budget of 750,282,200,000 into law. The appropriation bill passed by Abia State House of Assembly was assented to on Friday. Commending the lawmakers for their thorough and timely scrutiny of the bill, Oti described the budget as a tool to sustain its administration's momentum and delivering on its promises to the people of Abia. The governor would dub the budget a budget of sustained momentum, maintained that the government deliberately acted so because it is the second budget of the present administration. He reiterated that about 82% of the total budget is dedicated to capital expenditure, with 18% allocated to recurrent expenditure, despite challenges posed by higher wages due to the implementation of the new national minimum wage and the regular payment of pension. Key projects highlight.
Hello and welcome to the Foreign News. South Korea has voted to impeach its acting president Han Duck-soo 2 weeks after Parliament voted to impeach its president Yoon Suk-yeol. A total of 192 lawmakers voted for his impeachment, more than the 151 votes needed for it to succeed. Prime Minister Han took over the role after President Yoon was impeached by Parliament following his failed attempt to impose martial law on 3rd December. Han was supposed to lead the country out of its political turmoil, but opposition MPs argued that he was refusing. Nationwide will be held on Saturday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed Singh, who held office from 2004 to 2014 as one of the country's most distinguished leaders, while the Times of India paper ran a front-page tribute describing him as a man who liberated India's dream. One of northern Gaza's last functioning hospitals has been forcibly evacuated by the Israeli military, medic says, after dozens of people were reportedly in Israeli airstrikes targeting the area around the healthcare facility. Ed Sabah, head of the nursing department of Kamal Adwan Hospital, told newsmen that about 7:00 on Friday, the military gave the administration 15 minutes to evacuate patients and staff into its courtyard. Israeli troops subsequently entered the hospital and were now currently removing the patients that remained, Dr. Sabah said. The Israeli military said it was unaware of strikes in the area and was looking into the reports of medics being killed. Currently, no injuries have been reported during the evacuation. The Israel Defense Forces have not yet commented on the evacuation, but earlier in the week, an Israeli official said that they intended to relocate those at Kamal Adwan Hospital to the nearby Indonesian hospital that was itself evacuated by the Israeli military on Tuesday. It comes after the director of Kamal Adwan Hospital said that approximately 50 people had been killed, including 5 medical staff, in a series of Israel airstrikes targeting the vicinity of the hospital. Still on foreign news, an injured North Korean soldier captured by Ukrainian forces has died, citing a statement from South Korea's spy agency. The soldier is believed to be the first North Korean prisoner of war captured since Pyongyang deployed forces to support Russia's war in Ukraine. South Korea's National Intelligence Service said it had confirmed. Yonhap reported. North Korea has sent more than 10,000 soldiers to help Russia, according to Kyiv and Seoul, though Moscow and Pyongyang have neither confirmed or denied their presence. The spy agency earlier confirmed that Ukrainian forces had captured the soldier after a photo purporting to show that the man had been circulating on Telegram. Recent images emerging from the Russia-Ukraine war confirm speculations that North Korean troops will be deployed in large numbers to the assault by Russian command. He also, however, added that it will be challenging to prove their North Korean nationality. Ukrainian forces say that North Korean soldiers have been issued with fake Russian IDs, while Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky posted footage last week which he said